Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot with the final video in our quick little series looking at every new dinosaur in the Cretaceous Dinosaur DLC for Jurassic World Evolution, released a little bit earlier today. We've looked at Dreadnoughtus, we've looked at Iguanodon, and now we're going to finish off in style with the Carcharodontosaurus, a much beloved dinosaur that was, of course, in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis as well. I'm still holding out hope for a JPOG themed skin. It was like black and grey with sort of red above the eyes, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, before we release our first one, just a quick little note on the Carcharodontosaurus. You'll unlock it on Isla Penna, which is the 4th island in the campaign. To unlock it, you just need a little bit in your science reputation, really not much at all. It's quite an easy dinosaur to get hold of. And then to actually get the dinosaur in your game, you'll need to go over to here. Not Chinini, the Kem beds in Morocco. You can get Carcharodontosaurus, and also it's been added to the Bahariya formation along with the Spinosaurus for the first time as well. So, with no further ado, our big crocodilian looking dinosaur, Carcharodontosaurus. I say crocodilian, it's got a pointy face. This is kind of what I was getting at, to be honest. And that's about it. But it looks... Some people are sold on this. They think the head is a little bit skinny. I think it's actually pretty perfect. I love those spikes. It's quite over the top in some way. The spikes along the spine are quite... I mean, look at that right there. It looks like it's got a little mohawk, but there's little spikes just poking out here at the side of the head as well. It's a vicious looking dinosaur. It is a large carnivore. We'll do a little size comparison with the, say, the Giganotosaurus, which I think is the dinosaur this is most likely to be compared with. But I really like the banding, this striping sort of along the back kind of fades out down the tail. Then there's some vertical stripes there as well, along with the vertical ones. Moves forward up into the head and sort of stripes under the eyes as well. They don't fade out around the face, whereas they do with most of the dinosaurs in the game. So there you go, Carcharodontosaurus. Whilst that's going, let's get ourselves a Giga to compare them to. So there we go. Nice little basic Giga. So let's look at these skins. First up is the Tundra pattern. I like the call. It's quite a basic. There's nothing that unusual about it, which is nice sometimes. A lot of the dinosaurs have very strange, bizarre calls. The Carchar is a little bit different. It's a little bit more normal. I've got to say, I'm not the biggest fan of this skin. Just the general colouring doesn't do much for me. This kind of very saturated yellow. It looks a little strange to me. And the banding is different though. This has got kind of like an ink splot kind of thing. That back leg is very, very dark and black compared to the sort of the very clear banding that the other one had. I've said the word banding so many times today. It's crazy. Oof, there we go. Hope we get some like spotty dinosaurs or something down the line. Just not stripy, but I quite like the texture. You know, this I love that big black leg. I know that's a strange sentence, but I really do. I'm just not sold on the colour for this one. Now, before we look at the other colours, what we should do, have a quick little peek at the stats. Let's compare, if I speak English, the Carchara with the Giga. So, the Carchara, 102 attack, 35 defense. The Giga, 105 attack, 32 defense. It's very, very, very tight between the two. Oddly enough, the Carchara is actually more expensive than the Giga, but the Carchara does have 3 more resilience and 1 more lifespan. If you take all the stats together, the Carchara has 1 more stat point than the Giga. It is very, very, very close. They are basically quite similar in a lot of ways, which is kind of what you'd expect by looking at them, in my opinion. Oddly enough, the Giga, despite being cheaper and having less stats, does have a slightly higher rating, but the Giga isn't unlocked until Isla Sorna, whereas the Carchara is unlocked on Isla Penna. Anyways, more skins. Woodland pattern. Well said, buddy. Well said. Take a little peek around the other side there, and it's quite a basic one. This is, the other two are very, this is interesting to me. Let's just look at that one there. So really very little in the way of patterning. There's kind of some splotches along the spine, a little bit of counter shading. Every dinosaur in the game seems to have counter shading. What I do like is how these the splotchy bits do kind of transfer over to the spines as well. The spines are a noticeably brighter brown greeny sort of colour like the splotches around the back, and there's a couple little dabs of it here and there. But you look at that one there, there's a lack of texture, there's no striping, there's some light banding there, a little bit on the tail maybe, but generally speaking there's not there. This one is very clear. It's got two main stripes going down the back, down the side. It's got one going down the spine, some extra ones at the tail and on the leg. If we look at this one over here, it's got the same thing, but it's then got this big... It doesn't really have the same thing. I think we actually have three different patterns here on the Carchar. It's got the same stripes there, but then the body has more splotches and sort of patterns over the top of where the stripes usually would be. Whereas this one definitely doesn't, unless they've all been made in the same colour. It looks like there may be three patterns, which is really unusual for the dinosaurs in this game. Usually they have two, and then they swap colours around. Let's have a look at the others and see if that trend continues at all. So, we have a Rainforest pattern, typically my favourite pattern, so I'm optimistic. I do like that noise. It sounds like it's a warthog or something a little bit, you know? I don't know if that's meant to be a good thing, but yeah, so there's our Rainforest pattern. Very similar to the Giganotosaurus, and it's very sort of tepid blue, very light blue with some lighter colours in there, and even some darker sort of purplish sort of patterning going along there. Again, they don't look that similar. This one really sticks out compared to the others. I really do like the look of this one. Still don't like that one. Just want to take a look at... I cannot get over these. I think what they've done is they've basically all got the same pattern, but because the colours are being done so differently, it makes it look noticeably different. But this one and this one should be the same, and yet the patterning on the back just doesn't... I think it is the same. It's the same, but it's similar, but it just seems a little bit different. I love that little splotch, by the way, of lighter colour around the eye. It kind of looks like he's woken up and not rubbed his eyes properly. You know, when you get sleep in your eyes, they call it. That's kind of what it looks like, but I like it. Anyways, moving on, we have two more skins left. I'm kind of surprised these guys haven't killed each other yet. Did I turn off dinosaur combat? That would explain why. No, I did not. I'm very surprised they haven't killed each other yet. Moving on, we now have the jungle pattern. So we're looking for crimsons and reds and oranges. I do like that noise. I know I'm saying that a lot, but I'm coming around it. A lot of the carnivores lately, a lot of the larger theropods have had... Oh, I do like that skin as well. This one looks like the Rainforest one. It's got a very clear similar pattern here, where it's kind of these sort of O's sort of shapes coming from the back in the darker browns and then the lighter browns in the middle. I like this one quite a lot. I think that looks pretty cool. A lot of the theropods lately have had these big scary roars, and then they've got like a screech behind it, quite a high-pitched noise that sometimes sounds like a dying baby on some of them. Spinosaurus, even the Giga to an extent, they've all got this high pitch around. This is a deep bellow all the way, which is surprising given it's, you know, definitely one of the slimmer dinosaurs that is out there. It doesn't look as big as the Giga to me. It looks smaller. It's like maybe halfway between, say, the Giga and the Giganotosaurus. Why are they not killing each other? I know exactly why they're not killing each other. We can make them kill each other, but let's release the final... No, tell you what, let's do it right now. So part of the new sandbox settings released with patch 1.6 today, along with this DLC, is you can now turn on the social requirements and population requirements. So let's just turn those on. That's what I should have done before. And now if we look at them, they should instantly want to murder each other. Fantastic. So let's release our final one, the Steppe pattern. All three of the dinosaurs today have a Steppe pattern, oddly enough. Those sound effects are awesome. This is definitely an interesting one. It's again, the patterning's quite different compared to some of the others, but the colouring, the eyes as well. It's got a very... I don't want to call it evil, because you're a lovely dinosaur, I'm sure. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure you're a delightful dinosaur, but you do sort of look a little bit evil. Just a little bit evil, you know? There's something about this one It's darker with the bright red eyes. That's a very classic evil combination. Oh look, overcrowded. That's new, right? I believe that's new, that overcrowded symbol there. This one's also instantly taken the... Oh, there we go. Dead goat. This is instantly taken the alpha hood from the others and is going straight for the go. There it is. Now, they definitely should have killed each other by now. I'm a little surprised they haven't, but if we release an opponent dinosaur, let's release a Giganotosaurus and see what happens. Want a little combat, see if the Carchar has a unique kill animation. I suspect not for the carnivore fights, but we'll have to see. But I also want to see a size comparison between these two. How do they stack up? They look similar. I'd say the Giga's definitely a little bit thicker with 2 C's. And also has a generally more interesting patterning, it must be said. But I tell you what, it's tight. There we go, that is a direct, as close a comparison as you're going to get. They're essentially the same size. I would say, by looking at it, the Giga is ever so slightly taller. If you drew a line across, the Giga would have maybe an inch on the Carchar. The head is about the same size again, but the Carchar's got that thinner head, like goes down into a point, whereas the Giga's got like a thick jaw. You know, the Giga could be a leading man in a film, whereas the Carchar is more like Steve Buscemi sort of thing. The Giga's just thicker in general. I love the Giga patterning. It's a shame that all these dinosaurs, we keep getting stripes, whereas this Giga has this blood veiny kind of thing. It's a little bit more interesting. It's also a shame, must be said, that we do not have a JPOG-inspired Carchar. We did have a Jurassic Park the game inspired Troodon. It would have been nice to see the same thing for the Carcharodontosaurus, but hey ho, is what it is. Now, in theory, this is a fight the Giga should win. It's very close, it's very, very close, but the Giga should win this one. We check the damage, they're doing the exact same amount of damage to each other. I think in this kind of situation, any dinosaur can win. It's just a case of who happens to hit first. It takes 3 hits. Oh, he's sleeping! Just getting up in the distance, look at him. There we go, they're both 1 hit from death, and again, both on the same amount of health. Got to bear in mind, the stats on these two are incredibly similar. Like, really, really similar. Oh, now they're starting to kill each other, and you're running away. It really annoys me that they do this, because they just end up fighting again. Basically, what they do is they run away until they get high enough health, and then they go back and fight again anyway. It's silly, is what I'll say. I think it's silly. Snap. So I'd be really curious. I'd really love to know what you guys think about this new dinosaur. I think we're about to see it. Oof. 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 Okay, so no, I was completely wrong, and that is the exact same animation that they always had. For some reason, it looked a little bit different in the trailer. I don't really know why, but no, that is the exact same kill animation. So it's a shame the Carchar doesn't have anything unique to it, particularly. It seems the Iguanodon is the only one that does. It makes a lot of sense to an extent, but I do think we pretty badly need some brand new blood, some brand new kill animations for the large carnivores, because we have quite a lot of them now, and them having the same kill animation every single time just looks a little bit silly. I think this is quite a big deal, actually, I'm about to say. So hopefully that's something we see fixed down the line, or not fixed, but changed, you know, just a little addition to the game that I think would be really, really well received. Now, the last... Can you all stop killing each other, please? There's humans over here. Delicious, nutritious humans. So many dead Carcharas. In my efforts to force this to happen, I've created a little death chamber. I think we're finally going to get there. This little lass over here, she's in a spot above her. How cool does this guy look? The more time I've spent watching them, the more they've grown on me. I think it really fits in a unique way amongst the existing theropods. It just doesn't look like any of the others in some ways, you know? I mean, they all look basically the same because they're all basically the same dinosaur, but it does have a little uniqueness to it. I think the... Oh. Come on, I've done nothing but surround you with humans. How much more do you need from me? I think we're in business. We're in business! We're finally in business. This took so long for some reason. Snap her up. Snap her up. Bam. Beautiful stuff. Right over the head as well. Oof, a little bit of a shake, and then up in the air. Oh, hello. Didn't mean to do that. That's terrifying. Magnificent, isn't it? my favourite thing about that really is that you can see the little hand poking out through the side of his head. It's beautiful. And down she goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Carcharodontosaurus, thank you so much for joining me for these 4 videos today. I did have videos planned on patch 1.6. We're going to do a little sandbox update and show you some new stuff on the sandbox. And then I wanted to do a challenge mode video. We're going to start that tomorrow instead. So enjoy these for today. I'll see you lovely folks then. Please do hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and the others in the series. Subscribe to be kept up to date. We're going to be doing lots of stuff with this patch over the next couple of weeks or so. Like I say, we're going to do challenge mode. We're going to try the Penna challenge mode, Carnivor's only challenge. Sounds really tough, sounds really interesting, and we may do a Jurassic difficulty on one of the other islands as well, probably Isla Sorna, because that's where the Velociraptor skin is. Thank you for joining me, cheers myself as always, bye bye. Quick little shout out at the end. This video and others like it would not be possible at all without the support of you guys watching me at home, and also everyone on this Patreon page right here who supported me in the last month. If you want to help out as well, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. Every little really helps. Cheers.